everyone. It's a pleasure to be here in the Mama Goa, and we're going to hear the amazing story of Pocket FM. To start this session, I would like to invite Mr. Nitin Verma, VP of Growth and Marketing, Pocket FM, and Nagaraj Baravani from Meta, who both of them have played an instrumental role in defining this success story. Welcome, guys. Handing over this to Nagaraj to take us through the amazing session that we have.
Thank you so much, Priyanka, for the introductions. Very glad to be here. Congratulations to AppsFlyer for pulling off this event in such a great location. Very excited to talk about our success story on Pocket FM, where AppsFlyer, Meta, and Pocket FM have worked as an effective trio in trying to overcome some of the global performance challenges that emerge from the ecosystem, such as signals or changes in the ecosystem. So very happy to be talking about some parts of those challenges. Nitin, thank you so much for being here. It's been 2 years since we have started working deeply, and I think I've seen a pattern change. Earlier, nobody knew about Pocket FM. Now I feel people know about Pocket FM, but they don't know what exactly it is. There are people who still think it's a video app, maybe there is FM, so it's an audio app, etc. So I think it'll be a great start to the session if you could give us some context on the great journey of Pocket FM so far.
Cool. Thanks, Priyanka. Thanks, Nag. So let's take a step back, how over the ages entertainment have evolved, right? So we had TVs, we had movie theaters. Fast forward last 10, 15 years, there's a lot of innovation on the video side of the things, right? So you see OTT players booming up last 15 years, Reels, right? Last 2, 3 years has been short drama apps, right? So entertainment has been primarily evolving fast in the video space, where you see a lot of formats, lot of duration-wise innovation, right? Pocket FM is an audio OTT, right? So you enjoy same entertainment, but in an audio format, right? So it's a serialized, episodic-wise, just like you have series entertainment in video OTT, it's an audio format, right? So that is one. Second thing, it's a long-form storytelling, means the stories that are very hit, I'll give some stat also, are 300 hours long, and people are consuming on an average, and this is average time I'm telling you, it's 120 minutes per day. So, and we have more than 200 million listeners globally. We are present in India across 6 languages in India itself. Then we are present in US and Europe market also. We have recently started, especially German, UK, right? So this is how entertainment is evolved, and it's the innovation that Pocket FM brings is in the audio format that has been booming recently in the last 3, 4 years. That's about.
Thank you so much. I just want to build on it, Nitin. I think the complexity of the app is also the opportunity. The team is about to create a new category globally, so it's very important to acquire users who might not necessarily pay, but are still likely to be the first set of users for audio entertainment. And it's so exciting to see an Indian entertainment brand do well globally. The next section, there were many business challenges, but we decided to focus on the top 3 problem statements and how each of us played a role in sort of addressing these challenges. The first one, which was around high customer acquisition cost and recovery complexity. Just to add a bit of context before Nitin comes in and explains it better, they follow a hybrid monetization model where you provide a lot of free time initially, and then they have a microtransactions model, which is like a pay-per-view, and then you have typical subscriptions and long-term plans. Now, couple that complexity with multiple geographies. Pocket FM is now significantly skewed towards US, LATAM, and European markets, while India continues to be a stronghold. And then couple it again with languages and their respective libraries and geo, gender, as well as the iOS and Android complexity, which every performance marketer faces. So Nitin, will be great if you could add a little more color on why this is probably the most important problem for all partners involved before me and Priyanka can talk about how we have sort of tried to address it.
Yeah, correct. It's so, let's take a step back. When you are buying a product, you are, asking the users or through your creatives build an intent for that product, right? Especially for our creative industry, if you want someone to consume 300 hours, what is the intent that you are creating through your ads, right? Now what happens is, as I said, different ads might have a different intent creation, right? And so that you need to go at a granular level to measure what each creative is doing. So while we operate at campaign level, it doesn't work for us. When you operate at an ad set level, all analysis fail. Only at an ad level, creative level, things changes become gray and black and white, especially which is working well, which is not working well. And now you have to couple, which I was also saying, it's a micro transaction model, right? So intent might be high, but who are the loyal users of your product? Now feeding this signal back to at an creative level, then ad set and then campaign actually helped us to recover or maintain the recovery targets that we had or actually improve the CACs as well for a particular show. Now you have to couple this that you are already promoting 10 shows. You're actually selling 10 SKU parallelly. Each SKU had different 100 creatives to sell, right? 100 creatives to present to the users. And then how you build each campaign, each product at a profitable rate almost in this. This was the primarily solved through all the attributes that we can measure. And then what is the post-install funnel that we can input to the campaigns to learn better. So this was the, going from campaign level to creative level, even within an ad. And now next level of things that we are doing is, even you have one creative, right? And you put it in one ad set. At different platform, at different placement, it is performing very differently. So you have reels, you might have feed, you might have IG reels. Each creative is different at a different placement. And from that, you marry your post-install funnel, the revenues that are coming at a placement level. That's where we were able to actually sell through this CAC and recovery problems, right?
Yeah, thanks for that. We're going to talk about a couple of key solutions that both Meta and AppsFlyer pursued to solve for this challenge. Under Meta, we talk about aggregated event measurement and custom product pages. We'll quickly talk about aggregated event measurement, or AEM. AEM is Meta's alternative to SCAD network optimization. Simply put, it provides real-time reporting. It provides more granular reporting at a geo, gender, etc., which makes it easier for you to optimize more smartly. And it also helps you understand a 7-day user path to purchase or behavior, because you can enable a 7-day click in addition to the 1-day click. And I want to specifically talk about the screenshot which shows how simple it is. So at the application of a radio button, you can select between the two modes of optimization. For context, this applies mainly to iOS, self-explanatory. 90% of applicable campaigns in Pocket FM are running on AEM, and we have seen anywhere between 30 to 40% improved CACs due to the application of AEM, which has been over the last few months. Next, coming to custom product pages. Now this not only applies to entertainment category, but also, let us say, a casual gaming category. Anybody who has a catalog of offerings, usually you recruit through, say, for example, this show, which is My Vampire System, one of the best shows on Pocket FM. Now, when the user clicks, your ability to show a customized product page on the app store, basically it gives you an additional impression for free. So in this case, it's almost like a carousel where you can provide more intrigue, create a little more suspense and interest for that particular title that the user clicked on. And we are seeing that this helps in the overall funnel improvement and definitely improves CTR to the tune of 5 to 10% for Pocket FM. That's the general average we have also seen for other advertisers. Two very simple solutions on paper, but providing great results on the overall performance. Handing over to Priyanka for talking about AppsFlyer solutions in this area.
Thank you, Nag. So, like rightly said, Pocket FM wanted to understand revenues better so that they can ensure that the users who are coming could give higher LTV, better revenues could be there. But now to understand this revenue, you need to have granular insights, right? Not just at a campaign level, at an ad set level, at an ad level. And this was primarily a challenge, Nitin, right, for Pocket FM to be able to understand. With AppsFlyer's rich in-app event measurement, what we can do is we can help you understand all of the in-app event revenue that you share with us at a campaign level, at an ad set level, at an ad level, so that you could make a much better decisions and data-driven insights that you could take away from. And especially when it is clubbed with your CRM data, when you marry those two data together and understand how much of a recovery is done for every ad spend that you've made today, right? That data can help you build a predictive modeling sort of a system at your end to understand, okay, these are the campaigns or ad sets or ad level that I need to spend more on or focus on, giving you a high quality users.
Thank you so much. We'll come to the next challenge, which is around optimizing audiences segment for re-engagement. Nitin, if you would like to throw more color on why it is slightly more complex for Pocket FM, I think a little bit of context was said in the beginning, the complexity of the app and the offerings, but a little more color on this before we come in and discuss how we try to solve for it.
Yeah, correct. So, as a startup, we ship a lot of new stories, right? And we have a massive listener base, which is like 200 million. So when you require or re-engage users, right, especially, you do not want to do at the same cost you acquired them, right? So for that to solve, you need to have the right audience, the right product, and the right messaging in place first, just to have the very healthy re-engagement costs that we can have. So I think audience segmentation, right? Finding out the right audience, building it and populating it with a very healthy match rates, 90% match rates, so that you can efficiently reacquire or re-engage any users with the new products that you are launching. So we have launched around 35,000 AI-based stories as well, right? So now users who had been there with us 2 years back, how do you engage them again at a very low cost, right? Either they are on the app or they have uninstalled the app, both ways, right? So I think audience feature and right targeting actually helped us lower CAC by 1/5 of our acquisition CACs. So this was a major problem that we solved through AppsFlyer and Meta both. How do we engage at a very efficient CACs?
Thank you so much. Coming to some parts of the solution that we tried to address this issue. From Meta side, we'll talk about creative mix and bid multiplier and AppsFlyer on the audience API and enhanced retargeting and exclusions. The creative mix, we have been consistently maintaining how Meta is not a singular surface. Last count, maybe there are 10 to 12 surfaces that matter when a user sort of uses our apps, whether it is feed, stories, reels, etc. So our first and foremost sort of application in Pocket FM and any large advertiser is to make sure that our ads are speaking to the surface. It's not a single dimension, single aspect ratio ad, but it gets customized for all the surfaces. Simply said, but it gets missed out a lot, but the sheer discipline of making sure that we are respecting the surfaces, creating for the surfaces has helped yield a lot of value. I want to particularly talk about reels, and the screenshot that you see and the clear portion on the screen is what we call as the safe zone for a reel. Reels are important. Most of the time spent engagement on our platforms is coming from reels. It's a very exciting new surface for us. For Pocket FM, it has overtaken feed and become the largest impression surface. At any given point in time, 50% plus impressions of Pocket FM get played out on Reels, both Facebook and Instagram. So it's very important to sort of make sure that your Reel creative is a complete 9:16, because the platform and the surface provides for that much surface area for better user engagement. And make sure that most of your logos, your show titles, and all the most important action in your video is happening within this safe zone. For context, in Pocket FM, we started the year with a score of 25 to 30% on performant reels. We call this as a performant reel, which is adhering to all the best practices. And over the last few months, we have been able to move that to 80% plus, which has again given us a delta of anywhere between 10 to 15% on an average at the overall performance level. Next, coming to bid multiplier. Bid multiplier is simply a mechanism with which you can skew your campaigns towards user cohorts that matter to you the most. I'm taking the example of the diagram on the right. Say, for example, an advertiser knows that female 18 to 24 and female 25 to 34 are the most important ones. They drive the highest LTV, etc. But it doesn't mean that the other age groups are less important. They have a role to play in the overall revenue. So within the same campaign, instead of setting up too many campaigns, you can set up a bid multiplier where you bid or you condition the algorithm to bid more for the audiences that you want. And even if other audiences come in, you're paying a much lesser price. So it works out in both cases for you. For example, Pocket FM looks at a day 15, day 30 recovery as a sure path of long-term success. So when we deployed bid multiplier, now close to 30% of all the campaigns runs on bid multiplier. We have seen close to 15% improvement in LTV, which is great. And we are trying to do more bid multiplier tests on custom audiences and other kind of combinations possible. Over to Priyanka to talk about the solutions.
Yes, thank you, Nag. 200 million users globally, right? It's a gold mine that you're sitting on, but rightly to understand how to dig into this gold mine, make use of it, you've already spent a good amount of money to acquire these users, right? I think it's a challenge a lot of marketers face today. So when we started this partnership, Pocket FM also was using one of the traditional ways, identifying the audience manually, uploading it manually. And so naturally, when there are manual efforts, there are downsides to it, there are challenges, that's not real time. You've defined a cohort and uploaded it. So with audience, what we can do is there's those 200 million users who've been acquired so far already have the app measurement with us, right? We have that data. Now those data can be transferred or married, computed with your internal CRM data. Now when that gets married, you understand what exactly is the intent of that user, how long the LTV, what is the revenue that has been acquired from each user. And when you ingest that data back to AppsFlyer, right, use that audience as a real-time audience, dynamic audience that you use today, you get the right high intent user. And that's essentially what Pocket FM also wanted to solve for, right? So Audience API, what it helps you do is it helps you ingest a very powerful cohort back and make a very efficient use of the gold mine that you have today. And while this is one part of it, there's another set that Pocket FM very, very beautifully has utilized, where they wanted to exclude a certain set of installers and purchases so that they can ensure that the ad spend that's being done today is very efficient. The users that are coming are loyal and high intent users, right? So beautifully explored how it can be done.
Thank you so much. Moving on to the third bucket, and this is not just a performance challenge, right? This is a strategic challenge for Pocket FM. They've opened up 7 markets, multiple languages, over 75,000 titles, contemplating other formats beyond audio. Now, how do you decide where to deploy the next tranche of money? Which one is better to scale? Because ultimately you need to reach certain milestones within a given frame of time. So, little more color on this, Nitin, about how big a challenge it is internally.
So for OTT like us, right, which let's say I take example of one language, let's say today Hindi, right, where we have 15 to 20 stories running at parallel, promoting, right? So trailers of those stories are out, and there are 5 to 6 trailers per story, right? Now, there are a lot of complexities now that come in, like it can be audience overlap, it can be channel overlap, it can be attributions to each creative, which I also talked about, right? How efficient it can be. These are, I think, challenges that happen at a very high scale when we get to a very high budget, high stories, medium, right? And only when we solve this is where our LTV and ROI actually makes sense, right? So if I am just making audience overlap of 100%, I'm just wasting my money as well, right? So I think advanced analytics and other attribution tools that we had actually helped us to scale the campaigns for each language across geographies very, very efficiently. And that's how we were able to also maintain the healthy success ratios of our business, right? Which we call it recovery, CAC, right? So that's how it has worked out for us, right?
Thanks, Nitin. I'm going to speak more about advanced analytics. Advanced analytics is simply an add-on tool which allows advertisers to do much more in-depth analysis of their data, Meta's data, in a policy compliant or a privacy compliant way. Uh, Things like campaign reach overlap, frequency distribution, path to purchase, incrementality studies, etc. It's a simple setup. We rolled it out a few quarters back. Pocket FM was one of the earliest adopters, and currently it is the heaviest user, as in the number of queries that they run every day. We have been trying to get higher and higher permission load for them simply because of the number of queries that they run. And like he said, it helps them take a much more informed decision on scaling and a lot of other challenges, whether it is cost optimization or campaign optimization. So advanced analytics is playing a key role as we are rolling this out to other advertisers. And the good news is that very soon we will have the ability of, translating these learnings from advanced analytics directly to actions on the ads manager. So we're looking forward to that feature rolling out so that advertisers can benefit not only from analysis, but also experiment basis the analysis output. I want to quickly hand over to Priyanka to talk about this piece.
Sure. Thank you, Nag. Like you rightly said at the beginning, Pocket FM 2 years before and Pocket FM 2 years after is a very, very different story. And it has grown exponentially. Now, when you're growing exponentially, there are a lot of challenges. You have to be very cautious of the scale up that you're doing, right? And a very important aspect of the scale up is you understand where all your users are, how scattered they are, which all platforms that they're going to. So to help Pocket FM understand where are the users, we've helped them into cross-platform measurement. And with that, we have given them some beautiful tools like cohort dashboards, scan dashboards. Now, these dashboards enable Pocket FM to have the right data to make a decision on where to spend, how to spend, where exactly to scale up, which campaigns are working for them. So these tools kind of enable Pocket FM to scale up this beautifully. And the growth, as I think all of us can see here, the outcomes are great.
Yeah, that's wonderful to know. Thank you so much. While we have covered the three large challenges, we felt it's a great opportunity to also speak about the fundamental pillars of our partnership with Pocket FM. We derive heavily from our global teams who are doing similar playbooks for casual gaming, for the entire short drama category that is exploding out of China, again with a huge cross-border US, LATAM, EMEA kind of expansion. Two buckets, ad solutions and business solutions. In ad solutions, we always stress upon increased usage of our Advantage Plus products, both for web and app. A North Star advertiser should be having at least 50-60% of the spends in the beginning on Advantage Plus because it combines AI and ML to give you a better result than a manual campaign. Signal enhancement, already a lot of panelists have spoken about it in the ever-changing world. Giving advertisers the full value of the signal is Meta's commitment with privacy at the core of it. Reels short video support, like I told you, Reels is becoming the dominant surface for many advertisers. It is the most engaging of the surfaces that we have on Meta. So how do we enable advertisers to build right for Reels and leverage ads of Reels in the best way continues to be one of the pillars. And then the business solutions of IP rights protection, especially in entertainment, it helps advertisers with a lot of self-serve tools to protect their pages, their assets, their ads, to make sure that they don't suffer due to plagiarism. This is a very important mechanism, especially for the entertainment category. We are heavily invested to sort of enable this for Pocket FM. And lastly, monetization. Pocket FM is part of Meta's audience network, where they get certain ads displayed on their apps. This helps towards hybrid monetization. You will always have a high percentage of users who may not pay or subscribe, but they are likely to watch rewarded videos or rewarded ads and will add back to your revenue. So this is the new path that we're trying to take on in the monetization, where we create hybrid campaigns between in-app ads and in-app purchase. So just wanted to share this playbook that we are deploying with Pocket FM and similar advertisers. That are the slides we had. We feel that this session could be useful to a lot of app advertisers who are again building like Pocket FM in India and taking it out to the world. Lastly, Nitin, wanted to understand a lot of these things that we've spoken about today has probably happened in the last few months, 1 year or so, a lot of these experiments. What is like a big takeaway or a guidance that you would like to give to your fellow advertisers who want to replicate some of your success?
Correct. So I think there were 3-4 milestone overall which has helped Pocket to grow exponentially last 2-3 years. One of the milestone is from the growth and advertisement side, and if I tell you, you will be shocked. So we have 80-90% spends going on a long format ads, right, which are 30 minutes and above, where the normal convention is make it short, right? We made it long. Why I want to say this? To have a very experimentative mindset around it. I think execution support by AppsFlyer and Meta team are already there. So I think quick experiment and seeing the results actually helped us prove lot of hypotheses which are right or either wrong. And this one thing that I spoke of has reduced our recovery and paybacks by 1/3. So you are recovering in now at a 1/3 period, right? Just by having experiments on those basis, right? So I think this is one of the I think advice or guide to all the marketers, that be very quick about experimentation so that you see very early results, and double down on the things which are working drastically for everyone.
Thank you so much. I think it's a great point to end this session. The learning cycles have reduced so much, especially in big tech. So the one thing that advertisers will definitely benefit on is having an experimentation mindset. We have conducted close to 20-30 experiments so far in the last 1 year, and it's always an endeavor with Pocket FM team that we have at least 4 to 5 experiments running at any given point in time. So thank you so much for highlighting that, and thank you, Priyanka, for the opportunity, and hope the audience found this useful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for having us.